Okay, pre-calculus. We've got 5 formative questions here from Unit 7, Lesson 4. So what is this problem graphically asking? It's asking, where's the graph of this quadratic? We know it's a quadratic, right? Where is it greater than or equal to 0? So where is it? Where is this graph above or on the x-axis? Because it's or on, or greater than or equal to. So where is that, above or on? There we go. Number 2, let the graph be f of x. Choose the solution set for f of x is less than 0. All right, where is f of x less than 0? So I'm going to take my highlighter just like we do in class here, and let's see where everything that's less than 0 is below this x-axis. So we have to write this as an interval, that part of the graph, this one, and this one. In terms of x's though. So from negative infinity up to, but not including 2. Or is that a negative 2? That's a negative 2. Okay, so I can just cross off that one, second one, that's not right. And then we also don't want to include that negative 2 because we're asked, where is the graph less than 0, not less than or equal to 0. So it's not that one either. All right, so we're on the right track. Next part is from this asymptote, which looks like negative 1, up to, and it passed negative 1, so it looks like the asymptote is at, I don't know, I'm just guessing 2. So from, we also have graph from negative 1 to 2. So far this, I mean, we already know that's going to be the answer because we've got a third part of our graph here, right? Because if you look, you can see this one only has 2 sections and this one has 3. But let's just continue. And the last one is from negative, I lied. From 2, from this asymptote, from 2 to 3, but not including 3. Because its f of x is less than 0, not less than or equal to. So that's why the answer is this one right here. Number 3, choose the solution set to the inequality. All right, so I'm just going to draw myself a real quick number line and put my, important points on there. So I've got a 0 at negative 8. I've got a 0 at negative 2 and a 0 at 3. Now the number 1 mistake on here is make sure you put these numbers in order, okay? They have to go from the least value to the greatest value. Negative 8 is all the way the farthest to the left, then negative 2, then 3, okay? So, rather than going through and graphing and taking a look at the graph, we're just going to use this and say, all right, I'm going to plug in a value that's less than negative 8, like negative 9. And if I were to plug in negative 9 here, I'm going to get a negative value times negative 9 plus 2. Doesn't even matter what the value is. It's going to be negative. And then times negative 9 minus 3 is negative times a negative times a negative is going to end up being a negative. Okay, let me plug in a value between negative 8 and negative 2. So let's say it's negative 6. That would be a positive times a negative times a negative. So that's going to be a positive. That's above the x-axis. This one is plus, plus, minus, so that's below. And this is plus, plus, plus. That's plus. So where is the graph greater than or equal to 0? It's going to be right here and right here. So we need this interval from negative 8 to negative 2 and from 3 to infinity. Now, we want to include those important points are zeros. They're not asymptotes. And this is asking where is it greater than or equal to 0. So we have to include those values because they're equal to 0 at these zeros. So that's negative 8, hard bracket, to negative 2, and then from 3 to infinity, right here. Number 4. All right, we're going to do the exact same thing, except for now we've got some asymptotes. Let me go ahead and factor that, see what those asymptotes are. X plus 3, x minus 8. So we've got some issues at some changes in the graph at negative 6, that's a 0. At negative 3, that's an asymptote. And 8, that's an asymptote. Okay, so this is an asymptote. This is an asymptote. And this is a 0. Okay, we're never going to include an asymptote on our graph. We can include a 0 because it says greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so we could possibly include that at -6. Let's see what happens. Okay, so plug in, just pick a value less than -6. I'm going to get negative over negative times a negative. And that's going to end up being negative. And then this is positive over negative times a negative. That's going to be a positive. Positive over positive times negative. Negative. And you can just pick any value between -3 and 8. It doesn't matter. And this is positive over positive times positive, positive. All right, where is the graph greater than or equal to 0? It's going to be in this interval and this interval. We can include the 0, -6, so we can say from -6 up to, but not including -3, because -3 is not on our graph because there's an asymptote there. So we're going to put a parentheses there. From, and then also from 8, which we're not including because it's an asymptote, to infinity. So where is that answer? Negative, wait. Okay, it's not this one. It's not this one. And it looks like we have to not include, wait, are these the same? Oh my gosh, do I have two answers that are identical? No, I do not. That's a soft bracket, a hard bracket. Whew. All right, close one there. Number 5, which of the following intervals describes the same solution set as the set build notation below? All right, what does this say? This says x is less than or equal to -3. So that's from less than or equal to. So that's from -infinity up to -3 and including -3. And then x is also greater than 5. So 5, but not or equal to 5, greater than 5. So that's this right here. So boom, done. Peace out.